installation of generating some random patients using the Cynthia command line tools. I'm going to do a little bit of a deep dive into this for all of you who are looking to kind of automate this through the Docker installation. So first off, if you're not familiar with the openemr command, it's right here. I highly recommend looking at this, playing around with this if you want to get around with the easy Docker environment. And I'm going to show the commands and then show essentially what happens. We'll dive into what actually executes underneath the openemr command. So to do this, first off, I started with a fresh installation of openemr with the development easy Docker, and I'm using the DRI command to install from a vanilla database. So in this database, currently there are no patients. Let me pull that up here. You can see that when I log in with the admin and then the pass, PASS default password, come in here to the finder, there are no patients here. So we're going to generate some random patients, and I'm going to first do here this I'm going to do this IRP command, okay? So when we look at the openemr command line tools, you can see that it has here, let's look at it on the actual command right here, IRP. You can see that this command will do the import random patients. Create and import random patients and then the number of patients here, okay? So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to have it generate 25 patients here. And so what it's going to do is it's going to go through and generate those patients. First off, if it has Cynthia installed, it's going to just load that up and then start running the generation of the CCDAs there. Now if we look at, if you don't have Cynthia installed, I'm going to switch over here where I ran it previously. You can see that it's going to go through and grab the Cynthia libraries, install it, set it all up, and then it'll run through the Cynthia command. And I'll jump into what actually executes in the actual script there. So on here, you can see that it's generated those CCDAs, and it's now going to import. That's going to take a little while. We're looking at optimizing that, but let me show you here. I've logged into the command. I just have an alias that logs me into the Docker running locally. And I'm going to go here into the root directory, which is where we install these dev tools. And we'll see here that we've got this import. It's going to, so that import, that IRP that gets executed outside the Docker, ends up calling internally this import random patients, given the number of patients. Import random patients is defined in this dev tools library. .source in the Docker. Import random. We're going to go here. So here's what happens from the command line. So it's first going to install the Cynthia library, go through, install all of that, and then it's going to execute Symfony using these pieces. So it doesn't do fire by default, it's only going to do the CCDAs. It's going to generate only living patients, not any dead. And then it removes from this import CCDA file, and we'll go look at that in a second, but it removes this exit command because we don't want anybody calling that from a live web script. Okay. Then it's going to run that, pass in the CCDA directory that was actually generated, and give it the default site directory. If you were going to do this something on a different site, you could give that command something. If you're doing a multi-tenancy, a multi-site, you'd give that a different parameter, and then pass in the number of patients that you're importing. And then it will go back and put in the exit command back into the script, and then it completes there. As you can see, it's still importing. If we come and look at this in our patient finder, we're up to 16 entries right now during the process of this. So it's doing them one at a time. When we come and look at this in Cynthia, what was actually generated, the CCDAs are generated in parallel. But if we look at this, we can see that this is the CCDA that's being generated, the XML, in the CCDA format. If we come in and jump into somebody and look at what kind of data is being generated, you can see this one has no allergies, has medical problems, has prescriptions, looks like about 27 different encounters, and some vitals data. So if we come here and look, for example, at this encounter, we've got some labs here, there's some procedure orders that are being imported here. All that gets populated. Come and look at a different one, maybe from 2019. And again, it creates a bit of a random data sample there. General examination. We should see a vitals. Yep, there's a vitals there. Some of these will have vitals that are populated. All right. And so those get populated as a random patient sample. Okay. So in here, now we've got our full 25. Once it's done, the script will say that it took, now it's going to create all the UUIDs for those. It took 218 total seconds, about 8 seconds per patient. We're looking to optimize that, but let's go look at the import CCDA. We're going to go and look at this file. See, here's the CCDA script, and internally it's going to grab the arguments. You can only run this from the CLI. Grab the arguments. It's going to update it's going to turn off the audit log while it does the import, right? If you want to make this faster, right? Then it's going to go through and it's going to run. And so for those of I know some of you were wanting to come in and look at optimizing this faster. You can see that this is the command to import a random CCDA. So if you were like pulling this from S3, you had like 1 million of these, or if you were trying to, you had a big old dump, if you were trying to do an import of 30,000, you can see that it'll get the site, and then you'll pass in the file, right, in order to do that. In this case, when development mode is off, you can see that it's actually storing the CCDA into the database, right? And it will run that same command using the document ID. So one will take the file up here, which is a flat file off the file system. One will take something from inside the database, right? So, and I think that's it as far as the command line tool. So just wanted to give a brief demonstration, how that works, how that looks. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. If people do want a follow-up video, I can dive into the actual CCDA process of how that does an import. But for now, I'll leave that at that. Thanks for watching. Bye.